So the hotel that you can see behind us, scam. Watch out for it, and we'll tell you all about it. It's now 8:30 on Saturday morning. We are on the coach that is going to take us to Dalaman Airport, and it's going to take about 2 hours on the coach. Then we'll spend an hour on the aeroplane, and then we'll spend another 2 hours on the other side getting to our destination. So 1/5 of our travel time is in the air, 4/5 on the road. It's quite exciting.
Really exciting.
It took 2 hours to drive to Dalaman Airport. We just checked in. We've got 1 hour before the flight boards, and we're about to go through security for a second time into the departure lounges.
Well, we're in Istanbul Airport, and the next leg of the journey now, getting to the hotel.
Which should take another 2 hours. So we've got to find a machine that sells these little tickets.
Cards, travel cards.
So we can go on all sorts of travel methods and find our way to where we're going.
Yeah, okay.
Right, let's do it.
Yeah, we made it to the bus station just outside the airport. And Baz is now just about to get an Istanbul card, which will hopefully help us to get from A to B as many times as we want. So let's see how this goes.
You can buy a Istanbul card from this menu.
Alright. Language. Card.
Please wait. Insert only banknote. Your request graded successfully loaded.
24 lira on there now.
It was a great train.
That was pretty good. It's very easy to follow. And they even have instructions written in English and spoken in English, and it's just very simple. Next, I think we're getting on the Marmaray tram.
From Asia to Europe.
Ooh! 2 continents in one day.
Yeah,
Ooh.
let's go.
Right? No, it's okay. Teşekkürler. This is why it pays to read reviews and heed what the reviews say.
Yeah.
I'll tell you all about it later.
Yeah, we'll pull some of the reviews up on the screen and we'll show them to you. Why we didn't see them or didn't pay attention to them, I don't know, because we normally do.
So I'm now on the telephone to Expedia to get them to organise a free cancellation and a refund, and they will contact the guys at the Hotel Milano, and then we've got to go and find somewhere else for 3 nights. So the hotel that you can see behind us, scam. Watch out for it. As we mentioned earlier, we're normally quite cautious when booking hotels, and we always check reviews, and if the reviews are outstandingly bad, then we decide not to go to that particular location. However, in this case, the trip to Istanbul was thought up in a very short space of time and booked in a very quick sequence of time. It was only after we'd booked that we found out that the hotel had very scathing reviews. One place even calling it a scam and describing the scam. So we actually were forewarned and forearmed when we went to the hotel. We had our fingers crossed that it wasn't a scam, but when we got there it turned out it was, because one of the brothers, the 2 Milano brothers that owned it, used exactly the same line on us as he'd used on a previous guest. The fact that, oh, we're very sorry, there's a problem with your room. The bathroom has had a burst pipe and the whole room is flooded and we've got no extra rooms. Now, We knew that because that's what one previous reviewer had revealed. But then, surprisingly, 5 minutes after that, the other Milano brother came up and said, yes, there's been a problem. The whole 5th floor is flooded. Somebody left a big window open and it rained very heavily and all the rain blew in, so the whole floor is flooded. I wish they'd get the story straight. So how the scam works is, you book this particular hotel, which has some great pictures on the internet, and when you get there they tell you that the room is not available for whatever reason. They then try and ring around to friends' hotels to get you into one of those. Of course, let's just use imaginary numbers here. Let's say that the Milano hotel is $150 a night. They will then book you into a scummy $70 a night hotel that one of their friends owns in a very dodgy part of town and very poor amenities. And of course they split the difference. Another thing they do is they try and say to you, well, you can apply for a refund after you get home. Just phone up the company you booked through and they'll supply a refund. At which point, when a refund is applied for, the Milano hotel says, sorry, we have a no refunds policy, so you don't get your money back. We decided that we weren't leaving the hotel until we'd had a phone call to Expedia, who we booked through, and organised a complete refund. At first they said that their telephones couldn't do international dialing. I explained to them that my Turkish SIM couldn't do international dialing either, so they'd have to find a phone somewhere that did international dialing. 5 minutes later, one of the Milano brothers wandered in with a handset which he'd borrowed from one of the neighbouring businesses or hotels, I don't know, handed it to me and said, you can dial internationally on this one. I had a chat with the lady, very nice lady at Expedia, explained the situation, and she said, just hold on a second, I'll call them. Now at this point I'm sitting literally 10 metres away from reception. The phone rings, the Milano brother picks it up, I hear him have a conversation in English, at which he agrees to supply a full refund, and he puts the phone down. The lady I'm on hold with comes back on the line and says, thank you sir, we've organised that for you. I said, yes, I was listening to your conversation, and we got a full refund. We then asked the Milano brothers if they'd be courteous enough to allow us to plug into their electricity to recharge our phone and plug in our laptop while we did an online search using their internet connection to book another hotel. Now, here's where a bit of stupidity on my behalf comes in. I found a hotel within the same price bracket, only 2 kilometres walk away, which wasn't too far, and it was in this part of town that we wanted to be in for seeing the sights that we wanted to see. So I booked the dates, got the confirmation number, and we packed up everything and exited the Milano hotel and began our 2-kilometre trek across Istanbul. When we got to the newly booked hotel, I gave them the reference number and they looked and looked and looked and couldn't find a booking at all. It was only after about 10 minutes and a couple of managers getting involved that somebody, eagle-eyed, spotted the fact that I'd made a mistake of booking it for next month. Now this weekend happened to be a very busy weekend in Istanbul. It was a national holiday weekend, and pretty much all of the hotels were fully booked. Once again, we plugged in our phones to recharge, brought out our trusty laptop, and looked again for another hotel. This time, I didn't book it online. I phoned reception and said, I see that you have one double room left. The guy on the end of the phone said, yes we do. I said, right, hold that room, we'll be there in 20 minutes. This place was only a kilometre and a half walk away. When we wandered into his reception, he said, hello. I said, I was on the telephone to you 20 minutes ago. You said you had one double room left. Yes, he said. I said, great, can we have it? He goes, do you have a reservation? I said, no, I talked to you on the phone about this. Oh, in that case, we're fully booked. And then gave me an attitude that says, not my problem, I don't care. At this point, we decided that booking online was wasting a lot of time. Night was beginning to fall outside, and we just wanted to get a hotel. As we'd been crisscrossing our way through Istanbul, we had spotted that there are pretty much hotels every 5 paces. So we decided to just wander into receptions and ask. The first 2 places we tried, fully booked. And on a third attempt, we wandered into the reception area of a very nice hotel called Dark Hill. And it was in the perfect location for where we wanted to visit all the sites. The nice manager at the reception said, normally we're fully booked, but I keep 2 rooms available for nice people. And you look like nice people. How long do you want the room for? We said 3 nights and paid the man quite happily.
Yes, please.
This is lovely. I'll have a small bed. Because she said sitting on the large bed.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Nice shower. Nice bathroom.
complimentary toiletries. This is what we look like after walking all over Istanbul for 4 hours.
We've seen a lot of it already. We can just stay in that hotel now. We've walked past most of it. At least twice.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we thought we weren't going to get anywhere there for a while, didn't we?
We certainly did.
So, what have we learned from all this? Well, always read reviews on anything you're booking, whether it's a theme park, a restaurant or a hotel. And take heed of the bad ones. Don't just rely that there are 70% good ones. We learned that persistence finally pays off. And we've also learned that there's always a mixed bag of nice people and not so nice people in any big city. But we really did enjoy our time in Istanbul.
After a great night's sleep, we left the hotel in search of somewhere to have breakfast before exploring Istanbul.
Right, we got full bellies.
We had pea day. It was so fresh and so fluffy. It was yummy, wasn't it?
Beautiful. So one of the things we're going to get when we get to the first place is a 70 lira per person, valid for 1 year museum pass. And because they charge you to go into each different place, you buy this pass and you get into every place for a total of 70 lira. So that's good.
Good value.
Yeah, you have to have a residence card to qualify for it or be a Turkish citizen. Here we are at the Hagia Sophia, and it's probably close to lunchtime now. And if you look behind me, you can see the queue to purchase tickets. And one of the tickets that we want to acquire is bought at the same place. So we've looked at the queue and we've estimated, based on the number of ticket sales booths that were open, that we'd probably be in the queue for over an hour. And then there's a queue to get into the building itself. So we've had a rethink. We can buy this card for an annual pass for all the museums at any one of the museums. So we need to find one that's got a small queue, buy the card, and then we can just wander into each one as we please. But right now, on our search for one of those empty kiosks, we're going to have a wander down to the Bosphorus. Just a little bit of current running through there, would you say? That thing over there is the Galata Tower, and we're going to cross this bridge by foot and go up there and take a look. It's just after midday, and the ferries just keep coming and going. Just a small queue.
We're not going up today.
No way, Manuel.
Do join us next week as we explore the fascinating city of Istanbul and visit some of its exotic and ancient attractions.
We are currently anchored in a bay on the Greek island of Samos in a town called Pythagoria. And if you went to school, you will probably know about the famous guy called
Pythagoras, who was born in Samos.
He was.
Yeah.
And we're going to be here for quite some time editing some videos together, because we really do need to do some work, because we are backlogged at the moment and we need to buy some time. It's strange making videos. But what we'd like to do right now is say a big hello and a big thank you to our brand new patrons.
Yes.
Mark Bonington.
Yes.
He has a 43-foot Bavaria, which is in Marseille. Nice. And from now on, Mark Bonington will be known as Bono.
Yeah. And also Fleming Sorensen.
Yes, and Trevor Bench.
And SV Daisy.
thank you so much for becoming patrons. It's really appreciated in making this journey of ours sustainable.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Thank you. So if you've liked this video, give us a big thumbs up.
And of course, if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It really does help us out in more ways than you can imagine. And if you want to get notifications of every time we release a brand new YouTube video, click on the bell icon too.
See you next time.
Bye.